All right, so the mud flaps is in a horrible position. This, all right, the sun's in a horrible spot, so you know, getting a little bit of crosstalk there. But basically, I'm trying to figure out what to do with this hood chain, and I think the answer is going to be right here. Go around this pin here and put a bolt right here and bolt this chain to this, and bing bang boom, Bob's your uncle. And hopefully we get some hood chains that'll hold the hood where it needs to be and also allow the hood to shut. It's a weird geometry I'm not good at, so I've just trial and error, and yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna put a hook right here and a hook right there, and bing bang boom, Bob's your uncle. So we drilled a hole in this, and we put a spring clip in there, and now we're cutting this off up here, and we're going to put a spring clip in there, and we're going to take it to about here, I guess. We can alter that a little bit, you know, that's why we got lots of chain, right? And then you can see that wasn't quite enough. I don't even know if we can get around that with this. Let's check that first. No, it's not going to let me. It's not going to let me go around that, which is unfortunate. So it would have been nice, but that's not going to go enough. So what we'll probably do is we'll get this exactly where it needs to be, and then we'll put this bolt through there. If I remember right, there's nothing fun about that. I like this because we can take it off. I mean, not really, because it's really close. Next time I'm going to move it a little closer to the bottom on the other side. But we could also go to this bolt right here. You know, so I could take that off, go around that bolt. It's on a pretty good piece. Maybe I will. I'll take this bolt out, get a longer bolt, then we'll run this through that bolt, and that should hold it. It might not work over here. I think it will. Yeah, let's go to that bolt. It's the same. Let's see if we can go through. Let's see what we can do. We'll take this bolt out. Right back. Alright, let's see if we can get this off. That was the easy side. Alright. Now, will this go through that? Negative. So, in order for that to work, we're going to have to make one of them bigger. And it's not going to be easy. And then once I do that, that's the last time. Let me go get my cutoff wheel. Take that one off right there. That's the right one. Yeah, it's actually one further, which is fine. Alright, so again, we'll get this in there. And then we'll put this bolt through. That's 5/16. We'll put some washers on there. Probably a washer in and a washer out. Put the fat end over there. Probably ought to put some more washers on. Let me get a couple more. If this works, we'll be doing it to the other side as well. Okay, let's see how that holds. I'll take it off the buckets. Okay, yeah, and I think that's gonna be good. I'm gonna come over here. I can't really see what you're looking at. Well, the sun is right on this thing. Let's see if it'll close now. It's not horrible. If it shuts, that's mission accomplished, I think. Damn it. It's tight. That's weird. There really should be one more loop, which, I mean, we can do that. We can get more chain. And it sucks because it's about perfect. Yeah, it's weird geometry. It does work though. Yeah, we could go one more, maybe. But the thing is, we do have to get some more to do it on the other side, but at least that'll hold the hood, so you don't have to have a prop. And we'll do the same exact thing. I'll get this chain and this hook, and we'll make one bigger, and we'll put a bolt in, and that'll be the thing. And actually, I might switch from chain to nylon strap. We'll see. But there it is. And it's exactly the right length. Like when it's open, it's tight, and when it's closed, it's tight. Which maybe a little bit of nylon strap would make it a little better. But anyhow, I wanted to be able to put the hood forward without buckets, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's gonna have to go. It's gonna have to go a little bit looser. I hate the way this grill is. Somebody put this old grill in this truck, and I like the way it looks, but I hate the way it fits. And yeah, we still got to do a little bit of work on the front. I need some of these pieces. This one's okay. I can sandblast the chrome off and paint it. I'm going to sandblast these and paint them. And I need this piece because this one's rotted out. So I need one that I can make black. And I think I'm going to do black bumpers and black everything else on this truck. Also needs windshields. Let's get inside here. Alright, so I had forgotten to tighten this up and ended up losing the wedge in the nuts. So I had to rob some out of a new clamp.
Please tell me all the bad, never good. Fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts. I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong. I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud. Never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth. Can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about. Have your cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound.
Alright, so we're gonna get up in here and get after putting this dash piece back in. It's been hanging out of there since I bought this truck. First I gotta let these legs down a little. And then I think what we'll do is come back here, right? Alright, so hey, there's that brake valve I've been looking for. Best way to work on this, so I've seen on the internet, is to take this top panel off. Then you can reach down in the back and you can put things in. I see a pair of needle nose vice grips in there, so it's got an air leak somewhere. We're gonna get to that. It's got a really nice seat in it. And this one right here, I think. Alright. Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to these are the pinned in ones, right? Yeah, so I'm going to have to go and I'm going to have to go and push those pins out, and then we'll go into the top here and we'll fix up whatever we need to fix up in here. This needle nose plier is on some airline down there. We'll have to see what that is. Also, there's electrical plugs and all kind of other stuff. This I think this is a brake saver. Seems like it's a brake saver. So yeah, we'll get these knobs off and get what we can get back here, and whatever we can get of this stuff push back in here and taken off. There's so many gadgets. I don't even know what this is. Gadget of some sort. Defrost maybe. Hard to say. Alright, hopefully you get the right size here. It might be this one. Well, boy, that sucks. Yeah, because down in the back. Good thing it's not very deep. Yeah, that doesn't, it's not conducive to having a good time at all. All right. Well, I thought that was just a roll pin. It is, but isn't that weird? You gotta beat it that hard to get it out. Alright, this is no good if you ain't ready. We're going to put these right here. These pins right here. I'd probably do that a little different if somebody would have called and asked me what I thought. But you know, that's the funny thing about Caterpillar and stuff, these guys really don't care what I think. This is a, I mean, you know, fuel pressure gauges are cool and all, but I think they'd be a lot cooler if they just had a pressure switch, you know, but that's okay. You know, want to make steep turns, we can make steep turns. Let's see. Yeah, whatever it is that I used to take that out with, you know. Oh, right here. All right, let's see what we can see. Let's see. There's an opening there. You know, the brake valve was bad on this thing, and I got it, and I think that's why this was all apart. It really is a pain in the ass to change that. You know, I don't blame anybody who's lost interest in changing that. Ouch. Hit my funny bone, and I tell you, not much funny about it. I still think this is weird that you got to drive this pin through there. Oh man, come on. That's how you determine which one of these you got. If you got the MV2, you drive the pin through. If you got the MV3, it unscrews. Easy. It's so dumb. Super dumb. Really, really dumb. Oh, hey, look at you there. Seems like it's pretty aggressive on a plastic valve. Dum. Seems stupid. I'm not sold on that being a good idea. All right, so I'm gonna go and see if we've got, I think we've got some of these. Let's get this thing. Probably ought to tighten that fuel pressure line. I think I did, but I don't really know. anyways, this light bar was pushed back through the dash, and fixed that. And I just noticed the speedometer cable just has the inside that spins, not the outside. So when you're driving down the road, that cable's just winding around down there in the dash. That doesn't seem right, and we're gonna have to get after that. We have an air leak that goes until the air pressure's up, and then it stops. I don't know what's up with those windshield wiper valves, but we're gonna have to get a look at that and see what's supplied with air and what's not. Likely I have the supply line pinched off. There's one airline back there that I have clamped off, and no idea what it goes to. But it's nice to see the dashboard going back together. It's nice to have found oh, there's the little light bar. Horrible. We can set it on there anyway. This panel here, it's in pretty good shape. I'm just guessing. Yeah, no lights work. We'll have to get after that. Who knows what evil lurks in the heart of men. Let me see if I got these valves. This truck runs really good. And I like to have the panels back together. I'd like to have this fixed up over here too. Let's put a little catch in there, get those wires put up in here. Turn signals switch and stuff. Get that grouped up in there with some zip ties, and we'll see if we got these. I think I have a set. We'll go and look. Let me let's just see. So it's yellow on the outside and then red and blue on the yeah. So we got plenty of air. Let's see. What does this do? That's actually not a bad valve. How about this one? Okay, so we're not going to put new ones of those in. We're just going to put those in where they belong. And yeah, find some nuts and stick them in there. think we can do everything we need to do. Now I can hear when I put the wiper on, I could hear the passenger wiper is just an open air line. And it's crazy above there. So it's probably not hooked up or mouse chewed. So we'll find that. And then this is a wash, I think. Windshield washer. I think we need longer ones than the bottom ones. I don't think the fasteners are up here. Oh, hey, look at that. I got a round file up here I really want. Super unfortunate. I did find the knobs, which is cool. I got me a new Bic. Nope, she jumped. But I did not find the big wing nuts for these, and it's going to be smaller than this one. Alright guys, so we got an oil leak on Franny's motor, and I think I know where it's coming from. There's several actually, but I think I know where the major one's coming from. But we're going to verify by starting this thing up. John's over there polishing, so we're going to get this thing started up. Well, it's pretty much the only place it could be leaking from. It shows it coming down from around that flange. We'll get back under there real quick. Ouch. You'll see it's dripping down from up above, and I mean, that makes sense. That the oil feed is, there's two holes under that thing, and that big port you see is the return, and there's a small port up top that's a feed line or a feed hole. And so imagine that O-ring is shot on the feed. This is a big job. I mean, there's no way around it. So we'll have to take the air compressor off and take the fuel lines off and get the block off plate off and get the turning tool in there and bring it around. And you can't see in the pump, so we'll have to just put the tool in and turn it till the pump's pinned. Excuse me. Then we'll take the pump off, and that's gonna suck, but we'll take the pump all the way off and change those O-rings and look at the pump and clean the pump up and put the pump back on. That's a lot of work, but it's got a huge oil leak.
I mean, look at the engine's just covered, so it's been leaking for a while. And there's that flange. We'll go in and look at the other motor in there, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, because I already had the pump off that one. This is where the oil returns, this is where the oil feeds, and they're just O-rings around that, and the pump bolts on here and up there. So we got this bolt, these two bolts, and then we got these two studs with nuts, and then 1, 2, I think that's it. So yeah, there's basically 4 bolts there. This timing cone comes off and the timing unit comes off, and what you do is you open up this port right here, and there's a tool that goes in there, and you turn the engine, and then on the pump, you got a pump off right here. There's this port right here, and you take this off, and then you put a pin down in there, and you turn the pump over, turn the engine over till that pin drops in, and then that's called pinned. And then the engine should be fine to take this pump out and do your business, put it back in, and put it all back together, and then take the pin out, and it should start right up and be right in the same time. That looks different, but it's the same pump. 7 whiskey 9062 or something. Oh yeah, so there it is. So we can get to the pin. I was thinking it was down there, but that's nice. We'll take this off, we'll roll the engine over, pin the pump, take off those fasteners, take off all the injection lines. That kind of sucks, taking the injection lines off, but we'll take this off. We need a new hose here anyways. We'll take that off, we'll get the injection lines up. We may just leave the injection lines on and try and take the front off and pull the pump back a little bit and rotate it and change those, clean that area down there and change those O-rings and then put it back in. I don't know. But that's going to be a job. We'll probably do that this week. This thing needs pressure washed anyways. It's dirty. And I want to get this truck in better shape, and so we get this oil leak fixed to make sure that's done, and then we'll get those suspension components changed and see about how that goes for now. All right, so without you, I took the bolts loose. First I turned the engine over by hand and I pinned the pump, and then I took the bolts loose. I took the timing advance off, the cone cover, the timing advance, the bolts off to the block, and I pried the unit over, and I kicked out those old O-rings, put in new O-rings, and I put the bolted the flange back on. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the 4 bolts in the front, loosen those bolts up, tighten those up nice, tighten those bolts, tighten that top one, and reconnect the pump, and then we'll put the timing advance on. We'll clean that cover up, put it on, and then we'll see if it starts and doesn't leak. And as long as it doesn't leak, then we'll be done with that. And we'll move Franny back a little bit, and we'll bring the power washer out here, and we'll power wash this whole side of the motor up real nice, and maybe even pressure wash underneath the thing. But let me grab some pieces, parts, and we'll get after it. All right, so we're gonna tighten up these. So all this has 2 bolts, 2 nuts, 2 studs with nuts, and we're gonna get these tight. And then once these are tight, now you can damage the O-ring not moving the pump around, and there's a possibility that this thing is gonna leak worse than it did. But before I went through taking all the injector lines off and getting a hoist over here and hoisting this pump out all the way, and then cleaning the pump and new O-rings and putting it back in and all that, I decided I was just going to try it. And a A lot of guys say, oh, you know, you got to bring the engine up to time and da 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 da. If you just bring the pump to time and then don't touch the engine afterwards, I don't see a need to bring the engine to top dead center, because really, if the engine's on top dead center and you put the pump on when it's pinned, you're not going to be properly timed, because there's some advance you got to put into it. So I don't know where that came from, but I didn't do it. Let me see. I thought I heard somebody out here.
Yeah, I was breaking open my geodes.
Hear what?
Breaking open my geodes.
Oh.
They're nothing special. One of them looks like it has a tooth in it.
Has a what in it?
A tooth.
Oh, nice.
I know obviously it's not, but it looks like a tooth. Alright, I'm gonna go get Odin. He's running around the backyard.
Okay. All right, moment. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any with me. All right, so we got blue Loctite on the bolts. We're just gonna see if bolt holes are lined up. Nope. I think I remember where they were. I think it was right there. Now this old hydraulic timing advance only has 4 bolts. The flyweight timing advance, I believe, has 6 bolts. And again, this may not fix it. I'm not sure that I had the right size O-rings. I put them in the dark. There's a million reasons why this may not work. But as far as the timing advance and the pump and stuff, it should be right where it needs to be. Alright, I believe that's good. And I'm gonna go in here, wipe this down real quick. Now, I don't have a new gasket, so we're gonna look at that cone and see what kind of shape the gasket's in. It's just one little spot that's torn. And so I'll probably put just a little shot of Permatex right on that torn part, and then just put this back on. Alright, so I took the pin out of there. 3/8 bolt, a couple of flats. I need to put that line back on. I need to take this out. And the tool, the turning tool, which is this. Nice and clean in there. And then I'll put this plug back in. And then if everything goes right, I'll put that that line that goes, it's like a boost line from the intake manifold, and it advances the fuel screw as boost comes on. Advances the fuel diaphragm, however you want to look at it. So I took that off so I'd have some maneuverability on the pump while it was off. And again, this is probably not going to work. Because I don't think I have the right O-rings in stock, and it was really hard to do that. It was super hard to put the O-rings in there with the pump that close to the motor, and so chances are it's still going to leak, but it should run. Like, I did everything the way I think you should do it. Most people would pull this pump all the way off, take all this off, hook onto this pump with a cherry picker, turn the bolts loose, take it all the way out of there, take the steering shaft off, and then they'd clean that pump up and clean the engine block and put in new O-rings, a new front O-ring on the pump, and maybe even have the pump looked at. But I didn't do any of that. I just slapped some O-rings in there. It took me about 3 hours to do it that way. And I think it'll be just fine. But it could leak. Put this stuff right here, and we'll gather up whatever tools I dropped. We'll have to slide underneath. If we don't see it dripping in the first couple minutes, we slowed it down or stopped at 1. I had gloves on. It's the first time for everything. Let me grab some keys. Okay, tools out, unpinned, bolted up, done, done, and done. This door was just open. Oh. I don't see any drips. We'll get under with the light right quick. If you remember, you can see an oil leak coming right out of there. Nice and dry. No leaks in the front. Now you can you'll know the next few times we run it. We also got to get this throttle linkage. The pedal is very stiff, and so we are going to have to very stiff. So I think we're going to take that. I think we'll end up taking this pedal apart and getting it lubed up before we put that back on. But it's nice to have this truck ready to move. Yeah, there you go. Fix that oil leak. Now I wish I could have got you under there to show you the whole process, but basically take the plug out of the pump and use the crank tool and turn the engine over, and I think it was like 450 little pumps, because you know you can't move that ratchet very good in there. I think it was like 450 little pumps, and then it exposed the slot. Now guys say that bring the engine to top dead center, compression number 1 cylinder, then pin the pump. The problem is when the engine's at top dead center, the pump is not pinnable. It's about half a hole off, which is the advance, the initial advance. And you know, you guys can tell me I'm full of crap if you want, but that's the way it was on Crystal, and that's the way it was on this truck. I think that half of that space where the pin goes is about the 7 or 10 or 12 degrees or whatever it is. But anyhow, so I just turned it over until the pump was pinnable. Pin the pump, take the keys out of the truck, take the timing advance off, loosen all the bolts up on the pump, rock it around until you get that little bit of space in there. O-ring pick the O-rings out. Pain in the ass to get the new O-rings in. Pain in the ass to get the new O-rings in. We tried for an hour, and then I got mad and got under there by myself, and 10 minutes later I had them in. And so as soon as I had them in, I put those 2 bolts in and tightened it up. Now it wasn't where it needed to be because the top bolt wasn't lined up. So when I came back to do the job, to finish the job, I loosened those bolts up. I pulled the pump in. I picked the pump up a little bit. I put that top bolt in, then tightened those bottom bolts, tightened the top bolt, tightened the front bolts. Put the timing advance back on, tighten those up, blew Loctite, and fix a little tear in that front gasket. Now I do need to change that nose cone and put a new gasket in there, and I will do that. But I'm going to pressure wash this engine, pressure wash the bottom, pressure wash the frame, pressure wash the tanks, everything underneath. Make sure I have no leaks, and then I'll take that cover off. I'll get another cover because that one's been broken and epoxied. I'll fix that cover, and then we'll get after some wiring. And you know, Franny Girl, she deserves it. And we'll get some windshields in it, fix that suspension, put some wheels and tires on this truck, maybe some steering components, fix the transmission, and put some carpet in it, and then drive this truck. I love this truck, and I'm glad that it's not oil in the driveway. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see ya.